Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from SimpleProgrammer.com. I got a question about paying school loans or investing. This is a good question. It's not always so obvious. There's a lot of details that can determine whether or not it's smart to do one thing or the other. So he says here, "Hi John, I currently have $31,000 in student loan debt at 4.57% interest. I have no credit card debt and no other debt. Okay, I'm already maxing out my 401k and I have over 3 months of living expenses saved up. I have the opportunity to pay my school loans off by the end of the year. Is this a good idea? If there's any policies that eventually alleviate school loans, I could miss out on opportunities to invest in a software business or real estate. Thanks in advance for your input. Best regards, Victor." Okay, so Victor, just to recap here, he's got $31,000 in student loan debt at 4.5% interest. He's got no credit card debt. He's maxed out his 401k and all that, and 3 months of living expenses saved up. So he wants to know if he should pay off the school loans. He could do it by the end of the year. So the big thing here is this, right? This is kind of the principle behind this, is what you want to do is you want to figure out, you want to pay off debt. Okay, you don't want to have debt unless that debt is actually earning you more money than than it's costing you, right? So let's say, so in this case, he's got an interest rate of 4.75%, I'm assuming per annum, right, per year. So on 31,000. So we could calculate, right? I'm not going to do the calculation now, but you could calculate and you could figure out, okay, well, how much is he paying in interest per year, right? 4.75%. How much money is that? Okay. Now, if he took that money that he would be paying to pay those payments, say pay the $31,000, okay? If you're thinking about paying it off. If you took that money and you invested it somewhere else for a year, would it yield higher than 4.75%? Okay? Because if it did, right, just as if, right, let's say that you got 10% on that money. Well, what you could do is you could invest that $31,000 that you were going to use to pay off the student loan, get 10% on that, and then take the money that you make on that 10%, everything above 4.75%, and you could actually pay down the student loan, right? So whatever extra money that you make, and still make money, right? And still be in a good situation, right? So you're essentially using that 4.75, like you're going to clear whatever you're going to pay interest on the 4.75% of the 31,000, but you're going to make you're going to make interest on what the difference is between that 4.75 and the 10%, so 5.25%, right? So that's the key there. So the question is, can you find an investment that's going to earn you a 10% return? I personally think real estate is an investment that could do that, but are you willing to do that? Is that what you're wanting to do, right? If you're thinking about just investing in the mutual funds or stock market, you're not going to get that kind of return, right? You're not going to get a guaranteed kind of return, or it's not going to be enough, and you're going to pay taxes on it, so it doesn't make sense. So I would lean heavily towards paying off the student loan and getting that cleared out, especially now, because right now interest rates in banks are low. You're not going to make money putting money into the bank, right? There's not a lot of places that you could invest securely that you're going to guarantee a higher rate than 4.75%, right? So if you think of it this way, what you're doing when you're paying off the student loan is you're essentially earning 4.75%, right? Because you're saving 4.75% in this case. So that's what you want to think about, is just think about that way, right? That's why if you have credit card debt and some people say, okay, well, save money and slowly pay off your credit card debt. No. Don't save money until you've paid off your credit card debt, because you're paying interest on that, okay? You've got to pay off that first. You want to maximize that, right? And then if you've got multiple, a lot of you have multiple debts. Look at each debt and see what the interest rate is on that, right? When I was paying off my properties, I have a lot of real estate. I've paid off a lot of those properties. I didn't just pay off properties randomly. I paid off the higher interest rate ones first, okay? because that makes sense, right? And some of the properties I've actually held onto, even though I had the cash to pay them off, I've held onto the loan because if I've got a loan at like, 3%, I can easily make more than 3% on an investment, so I'm going to do that. So think about it that way, right? This is kind of the key thing, is that you want to weigh it against what you could possibly invest in. Now, would you have some kind of opportunity that might come up where you could invest in some startup or something like that? Possibly, but do you want to take the risk there? That's going to be, if you pay off your student loan, you're guaranteed going to save you 4.75% interest on $31,000. That's guaranteed what you're going to earn, okay? If you take a risky investment that might yield, 5, 10%, 20%, it might give you zero, and then you're still going to be paying the student loan debt as well. So you're going to end up in the negative. So don't take one of those opportunities and think that you're going to miss out. Pay off the student loan, especially if you can do it in 1 year, unless you've got something solid that you're going to invest in. If you're going to buy a duplex, you're going to buy some real estate. Again, if you want to check out my info on that, you can check out. I actually have a real estate course for software developers specifically. You can check that out, and I'll give you some straight up advice that I think could beat the 4.75% interest on your student loan. But if you're not going to do something like that, that's going to be very secure, then I would just say pay it off, right? But always use that principle to evaluate it. All right, if you like this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I'll give you all the videos that I do. I do a lot of videos on finance, on fitness, on really becoming a better version of yourself and personal development here, as well as improving your career as a software developer. But you can check them all out by clicking that subscribe button below. And if you want to get every video I do every single time that it comes out, click the bell, and you'll become like a super subscriber, and you get notification every time a video comes out. And yeah, so I'll talk to you next time. Take care.